AstaReal has some very exciting benefits for muscle. There have already been studies that have shown that astaxanthin can provide increases in muscle endurance and performance. A study in Japan showed that astaxanthin reduced lactic acid production in collegiate runners. Another study from Sweden showed that astaxanthin increased the maximum number of squats that subject can perform. That indicates that astaxanthin is increasing muscle endurance. A different study from the United States increased speed and power output in competitive cyclists. So it's very clear that astaxanthin offers very good muscle benefits for athletes. However, new research is indicating that astaxanthin may also be good for older subjects in helping to preserve muscle mass. Sarcopenia is a condition of progressive muscle loss, and there's some new studies that are showing that astaxanthin can help with this condition. An experimental study in mice showed that mice taking astaxanthin had more muscle mass than a control group that were not taking astaxanthin as they got older. So astaxanthin preserved muscle mass in mice. A different experimental study showed that astaxanthin preserved the capillaries in immobilized and atrophied muscles. That's very important because as we get older, our activity level goes down. Sometimes we're hospitalized and we become immobile. So some very interesting experimental studies on astaxanthin and muscle. There's also been some studies that are explaining astaxanthin's mechanism for supporting muscle health. Those seem to show that astaxanthin is a mitochondrial nutrient. For example, one study showed that astaxanthin increases transport of fatty acids into the mitochondria where they can be burned for energy. Often in sarcopenia, patients will have fewer mitochondria. There was a study that showed that astaxanthin increased levels of PGC1 alpha, and that's a protein that is associated with mitochondrial biogenesis. So that would seem to indicate that astaxanthin may help your body to produce more mitochondria and therefore produce more energy. Because of this exciting preliminary research into astaxanthin for sarcopenia, AstaReal is very proud to be funding the first human clinical studies on astaxanthin for sarcopenia. That study has just been completed quite recently, and we think the publication will come out in just a few months, probably in autumn of 2016. AstaReal is committed to continuing to push forward the research into astaxanthin for sarcopenia.